Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am here to tell you that we have so many artsy things to talk about today. It always feels like when it's Tuesday, it always feels like, oh, it's been forever since I talked artsy stuff with you guys. So, I always have stacks of things to chat about. I hope that you are ready for the challenge and you have a big water. Everybody have a big, nice drink of water. Okay. And, let's see. A couple of things I wanted to talk about. Number one, were you aware that the flower, that August's flower is a poppy? And one of the very first art printables I ever drew was a poppy for my friend Lucinda. And so I'll show you what it looks like. This is one of the very first, I think it might have been the first one I drew. Anyway, so I thought, through the month of August, let's celebrate poppies and paint them in all different ways and, celebrate them. This one I printed on watercolor paper, but you can see, remember I told you I am not a waster? Where do you see the back side of this? Look, I printed a whole bunch of things wrong. Was testing, but this side is still really good, and so why wouldn't I just use this side and print my beautiful Lucinda on that side. And the other one that I wanted to play and paint with today is, so I printed on copy paper. I printed Vintage Papeterie 1, and then I printed Lucinda on top of it. Do you see? Oh my gosh. The images that are printed on top of these vintage papers just have like a whole new richness and just depth. I just love it. I just love it. Like, I'm just all about it. So, I'm thinking I'm just going to start painting and chatting, and we will just kind of, let's go sideways today. We'll just kind of, I usually have this on my left, and it always seems kind of dumb because I put my water to the right because I'm right-handed. Whatever. Anyway, let's try it this way today. But you'll see a lot of my arm. So I'm feeling like I want to do like maybe, so I have 1, 2, 3 different images, right? I have my slimline image, I have my A2, and I have my independent piece of art. So I'm thinking, let's do them all a little bit different. This one, let's go like blues and lavenders, purples. So I have my trusty swatch, and so I will just set that there. So I'm kind of thinking about that. It's in the tray of my watercolor palette. Let's see if you can see it now. Right? Just so I have a reference, that always helps. So let's start with, I love this. And I've told you, I'm not a huge red violet person, but I just happen to love this color. So I am really working my water in there and little by little adding more and more water, because remember, I don't have as much wiggle room on copy paper as I do on watercolor paper for color blending. So I'm just going to start putting kind of a base color down of this beautiful red violet, kind of a lavender. There's nothing quite so peaceful as painting, I don't think. And these were, because these were some of the very first ones I drew, I thought that I had to draw outlines of everything. So you'll see the outlines, but they're pretty faint, and so we can use those or not use those when we have a double print like this, you know, with the vintage papeterie underneath. Let's see, what if I do a different lavender over here? I do the blue violet lavender on this one, because we have red violet, blue, and then let's do a blue violet. I think that's a good idea. There we go. And I don't know, how I'm going to use these pieces. I have found that I really like having some pieces of fodder to use however I choose, right? So this, because this is so much darker, I'm going to really get some water in here. I may even get some paper towel and start dabbing off. But remember, I don't have the same wiggle room, so I might have to come back in with the lighter lavender. But I want to keep some whites, you know. We should always work on really hard on keeping whites, because that really helps us create the dimension. And I don't know what I have right there. Let's see if I can get it with this clean brush. Not sure what that is, but it's gone now. So you want to keep those whites so you have lots of highs and lows, right? We're always looking for highs and lows. There we go. Come back in with just a wet brush. Some water to move some of those colors around. Let's try that again. Let's damp it out a little bit. There we go. So you see it's already starting to take some shape. Let's work on blue. And this is kind of a turquoise, but I really want to work on this blue. In my head, I have this idea of this turquoise with some pull that up a little bit, with some ultramarine. I just feel like that might be a fun combination. I don't know, just feeling it this morning. So let's see. Here's nice ultramarine. So I just want to... Good morning, Jan. How are you? I'm just going to little bitsy bits of ultramarine at the base of this turquoise. I just feel like it's really nice. Complements that turquoise really nicely. So Jan, I was just talking about how poppies are the flower of the month of August. And so I have this beautiful Lucinda art printable, which was one of the very first ones that I ever drew. And I just felt like it was a really... Good morning, Sue! Are you home from Mexico? Okay, let's go. Oh, nope. I think I want to go here. Hey, Kina, good morning. So, Lucinda was one of the very first art printables that I drew, and she was so well received. I will tell you, she's the reason that I kept going, because in the beginning you're so nervous, you know. I mean, hey, Emanuela, how are you this morning? Where are you watching from? Oh my gosh, Sue, I bet Mexico was just fabuloso. I bet you just had yourself a time. So little by little, I'm just starting to work on my beginnings of creating depth. California. Oh, very cool. Where in California? My mother-in-law lives in Oceanside, and we will be going there soon. For a couple of days. I just want to start filling in the leaves, but the same kind of thing, where I'm just coming in with a base color. This olivey green I love. But remember, whatever substrate you're painting on, your colors are going to look just a little bit different. Right? Now I'm going to come in with that deeper olivey green. I'm just going to go over the veins and the base of the leaf. Nothing too structured, just kind of... Okay, I'm going to set that aside and I want to chat. So I am painting today. I am painting on here's the Lucinda art printable. But first, I printed remember we've talked about my brand new product line is a series, it's just an entire series of vintage papers. And so I printed the vintage papeterie 1 first, and then I printed the Lucinda on top of it, and that's how I got this. And do you see how that's already, just the printing of it gives you that artsy vibe, right? It's going to give you like so much depth and visual interest, and it is heavenly. Okay, let's see. What watercolor brand do you use and what brushes? So my watercolor brand is this palette. I have like 5,000 palettes, but this palette is all Prima marketing, which I believe is called Art Philosophy now. It is all of their, not all of them, but a bunch of their watercolor confection tints. And so what I kept finding myself using the same colors over and over again, but I had all these other tins of colors, all of these other collections. And so my friend Tessa and I got this big palette from Amazon, and it's in my Amazon store on my website, Anne's Artsy Arsenal. There's a link there where you can just click it and get it. And then Tessa, if you are so inclined, created this swatch chart for mine. And this is holy tamale. So in the Let's Get Artsy with Anne Corbiere-Scott private Facebook group, there's, in the file section, is this swatch. So you can just print it off and make your own. And on the back side, swear, look at Tessa. This is why I'm organized, because I have organized friends. It does not come naturally to me. But she has each palette, right, in a different color. And then she has, and then here, like 1 through 12 is classics, 13 through 24 is tropicals, right? You get the idea. And then she even has the light fastness ratings down here. She's brilliant. I'm a lucky girl to have her as my friend. Anyway, if you are brand new here, if you would follow, like, and subscribe to Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I would greatly appreciate that. All of my artsy classes and my art printables are available on AnneCorbiereScottDesigns.com. If you want to send me a message, you can send me an email at AnneCorbiereScottDesigns@gmail.com. And like I said, please ask to join our private Facebook group. That is where you can post pictures, you can share your creations with my art printables, and that's where I can share. Every now and again I put a freebie on there, or I don't know, just all kinds of things. And it's just the loveliest creative community. We're all kind and encouraging and lovely. So speaking of, yesterday, did you know that yesterday was National Girlfriend's Day? Oh, yay! Jan, I'm telling you, you're going to love them, love them, love them. I have lots more. Like 2 more are going to go up this week. 2 more vintage papeteries. So yesterday was National Girlfriend's Day. And I was lucky enough, you know what, every now and again the stars align, and Joni and Carmen and I are lucky enough to spend an artsy day together. And we, you know, when you spend time like that with a girlfriend or two who just fill your soul, I'm telling you right this minute, when you come home from something like that, nothing is finer. Nothing is finer. So I'll share with you what we worked on. So I worked on we just kind of all did our thing, which is the best, isn't it? My whole life is things I have to do. Every now and again, I like to just have free creative days. And so this is what I started working on. So if you took my artsy alchemy class, which if you haven't, you absolutely should, because you will get these 2 vintage papeterie 1 and 2 included in that class, and you would get this mushroom art printable that's only available in that class. And you get 2 hours of me sharing all the different ways you can use the vintage papeterie. So even though that class was live a little while ago, you can absolutely take any of my classes at any time. You are once you sign up for it, you have access to all my creative content. So all of my creative techniques and ideas and the conversation with other classmates. You have all of the videos and the printables, all of those things, and you have access to that private Facebook group. And so the conversation can continue and continue and continue. And so that printable is full of all of these funky mushrooms that I drew. So that's what I kind of worked on yesterday. I just kind of painted these funky mushrooms and just had myself a time. And then, you know, as girlfriends do, we were talking about kind of some heavy subjects. And so Carmen just started to take a page in her art journal and paint circles. Just circles and circles and circles. And so then I kind of started painting circles and circles and circles. And then Joni started painting circles and circles and circles. And I can't tell you how relaxing and lovely that afternoon was. Because you could continue our conversation and just keep painting and painting and painting. And so, while I was painting, I started to think about these mushrooms that I had painted. And I thought, I don't know what, I'm going to fussy cut these, and then they're going to be just about the most darling. Look at this. So look, when you fussy cut things that are printed on these vintage papeterie papers, it's going to add this whole new layer of fun and funky depth, right? And just this cool visual interest. And so when I painted it, I still painted as I normally would. I created lots of lights and shadows. I really worked on creating as much depth as I could, right, with my paint. And the handwriting or the printed stuff behind it just kind of became part of the stop it. You guys, it's going to be so amazing. But I think once you cut it out, it just adds like this whole new layer of funkiness. I fell in love with it. Because look at the difference between this and this. Like this, it still has all of that white around, and so, I don't know. I just feel like that's going places. That's going places. So, if you like mushrooms, and if you are a fan of the 70s like I, please sign up for Artsy Alchemy 4. That's the, Artsy Alchemy 3. That's where you'll get all of those printables. So that's how I spent my girlfriend's day. How did you spend your girlfriend's day? I'm curious. Okay, oh, and the contest, the Christmas card contest challenge. We had 4 winners. Kina, Laura, Debbie, and Vanessa. And so I will be sending them, well, not Kina, because she's part of my team now. Did you know that? Kina is the newest member of Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs team of artists. I am so excited. She's so talented, and she's fitting right in already. Everybody take a drink. But I will be sending gift certificates to the other 3. And remember, if you entered a card, I will be sending you something in the mail. Some happy mail. Oh, and let's see, how are we doing on time? We're doing good. So I'm going to let this dry while I talk to you about something else that I had mentioned in my newsletter last week. I sent away, so I had heard about this Faber Castell Try It box. So it's $30 but you get more than $30 worth of product inside. And I thought, I can't recommend it to you guys if I don't order one myself. And so I wanted to share with you what came inside. So all of these items, let's move this box. And I had a piece of like just plain paper over here that I thought I could, there we go, share with you what came in here and you know, all that jazz. So you, first of all, you get this. Faber Castell has been creating art supplies, mostly pencils in the very beginning, but they've been creating art supplies forever, since 1761. They're an amazing company. They're just, their products are just quality and just the absolute best. So in here, it's going to tell you all about their products and ways to use them, right? So artist pit pens, I've used those forever and a day. Graphite, crayons, colored pencils, all of it. I also got 2 packs of paper, and they're just little samples, but this one is aqua, and it's watercolor paper. So I haven't opened anything, I haven't played with anything, because I wanted to do it all with you guys. So look at, this is Stonehenge Aqua Cold Press, 140 pound. I think you get, is that? And there's some hot press. So hot press is always smooth. Cold press has texture. This is 140 pound. This is 300 pound. So look at that. It's so thick comparatively. 140 pound is pretty kind of industry standard. But anyway, I just wanted you to see that. And then this is the black cold press. Oh, excuse me, black watercolor paper. Let's open that so you can see. So there's 140 pound. There's 300. I think that's it. It doesn't come in hot press. These are both cold press. I prefer cold press. Some people prefer hot press. I like the texture, but you know, that's just me. There's an eraser, which is kind of cool because, do you see how it's skinny? So you can get into skinny little spots. I love that. A pencil sharpener, very cool. And this would be a perfect travel pencil sharpener because it's small. Okay, so I have a bunch of different things here. So let's talk about what's here. So this is a cobalt blue, and this is a polychromo. And if you remember correctly, I have bought a few polychromos. It's because I normally use a Prisma colored pencil. Polychromos are different than Prismacolors. Prismacolors are a wax-based colored pencil. Polychromos are an oil-based, so the blending is a little bit different, but not like one's not better than the other. It's just different, right? This is the this is also cobalt blue, and this is the Albrecht Dürer. So let's look that up. I don't want to give you wrong information. I think I know what I'm talking about, but you know, every now and again So this is the, I thought this is the watercolor pencil. Right? So we have the same with all the other colors. So here we have scarlet red. There's polychromos. And you can see different, the different polychromos are round. The watercolors are faceted around the edges. But these are all, I'm going to just put water. You'll know. Scarlet. I put 2 T's on there. Whoops. Okay, and now we have, which one of these? Light cadmium yellow. Poly. I don't know if you can really see that. And here's the watercolor. Okay, so that's that. Let's move those. And now we have different levels of pencils. Okay. So this is, because this is a, I think it's called art and graphics and graphite. So there's different levels of graphite pencils in here. This is a 2B. Wait a minute. This is a 9000 2B, and this is also a 2B, but this is, just a second. Matte, but I think it's that the, well, let's see. Let's look those up too. I do love a pencil. I hope you do too. Okay, graphite. Here we go. This is the Pitt Graphite Matte. Oh, it's water-based, so you could do some smudgy. That's fun. Let's see. Matte and deep black. It's the new black, it says. Oh, so I see the, okay, which one is which? Okay. Now I get it. Okay, so the application is matte, so it's not going to have lots of reflectors. And the Castell 9000, I'm just going to put 9000. Smooth, even graphite lay down. They have superior leads made of finely ground graphite and clay, and the smooth graphite is never scratchy for writing or drawing or sketching. So that's interesting. Anyway, so that's that. And then we have 2 artist Pitt pens, and I have so many artist Pitt pens, and you have a good selection here. We have extra small, so remember, it is a, there, can you see the felt nib there? It is, these are the ones, remember, so this is extra small. And this one, are you ready? Brush. Lovely. And then, Faber Castell now has watercolor markers. And so they have a bullet end and, a brush end and a bullet end, right? So this would be really good for shading and all the things, so you could use this in addition to watercolors, any water soluble art supply, right? Watercolors, watercolor pencils, gelatos, Neo 2s, anything that you can, any color that you can move with water, you can use this with. But remember, this is not permanent. Most Faber Castell brush markers are India ink and they are permanent. This is not. It will move with water. So that's something good to know. So I'm thinking I want to kind of incorporate the bits and pieces of this box with stuff that I'm creating. So remember that the Faber Castell Try It box, there was a link in last week's newsletter. I will put the link in this week's newsletter also, if you are so inclined. Also, be sure to sign up for the newsletter if you have not already. Okay, so I'm going to use the matte. Remember, because this one is the one that is, and I'm barely touching again. This one is the one that is water activated. So let's see. So we can smudge it with water. We can smudge it with our finger, right? So let's get some water. Good morning, Julie. Hey, Kathy. Hi, Ann. So look at that. We're already starting to get this beautiful little bit of depth, right? By just adding just little bits of this. It's always, I believe, and this is just my personal opinion, but I believe it's always better to add little bits and bits and bits, layers and layers and layers, than to add like a big glomp of something, because if you don't like that big glomp, it's really hard to get rid of that big glomp. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to use my circular blend, right? I come in with my damp brush. And again, I'm just going to, little by little, soften that edge. Move things around. You see how I'm leaving those whites? Leave those whites. I really want to deepen up here, so I'll come in and do some of that with my paint. But I want to show you ways to use this watercolor brush. See that? So let's see. Come in with the damp. And I want that to be, this is very juicy, I'm going to tell you. And remember, I'm doing this on copy paper, so that's not the best place for me to show you all of its bells and whistles. But you see that you can use them with anything, right? And by creating that little bit of shadow, You see how we're creating even more depth, right, with our flower. And I'm just going to keep moving that out. Ah. What else do I have? Oh, I have these watercolor pencils, right? Remember, we have polychromo, which is oil base, and we have the watercolor. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to wet the end of my watercolor in my glass of water, right? Now I'm going to come in and add little bits of color like that. Oh, look how pretty that is. Let's keep doing that. So we're going to wet it in our jar of water, tap it off, and then come in and add bits of that color to each petal. You see how just that, look at that. I'm just creating this really nice layers and layers of color, right? But do you see the depth that's already happening? So if you are so inclined, I'm not affiliated with Faber Castell. I did get to design for them a long time ago, and it was just the best. I just loved it, and I just love their products. But I'm saying if you are curious, this is a perfect time to try out their stuff, you know. Go on their website and look for the try it box, and holy tamale, you're gonna be so happy. You're gonna be so happy because you get to test out a bunch of things. I love to test things before I make the big investment, you know. Everybody take a drink. What else did I have to talk to you about? Oh, the comfort book. What do we have to read today? So do you remember we had all of the no things last week? So I'm going to read two because this one is just a short one. Be humble because you are made of earth. Be humble, for you are made of stars. I thought that was beautiful. It's a Serbian proverb. The maze. It is rare to escape a maze on the first attempt. And when we are stuck in a maze, we can't escape by following the same path that got us lost. We escape a maze by trying new routes. We don't feel like we have failed when we hit a dead end. In fact, we appreciate the new knowledge. There is now a dead end we won't try anymore. Every dead end and cul-de-sac helps us escape the maze. To know which path to take, it helps to take a few wrong ones. Well, isn't that a comfort? And isn't that like the best way to look at it? I mean, we all take bad turns along the way, right? That's just life. Okay, I'm going to put these items. Well, I want to keep the yellows out because I really want to do yellow centers for these guys. That's what I'm thinking. Bring my watercolors back over. I want to just get some yellow going here. Look how pretty that is. Just that little bit of that pop of color. Good morning, Laura. No problem. You know what? All of these, all of these videos are saved, so you can watch them anytime you wish. Hi, Susan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Cynthia. So I was trying to get, what is Volu? Really liking this deeper shade around the edge. I'm kind of feeling like I might want to do something more with that. But I'm also feeling like I really want to fiddle with this. I want to deepen with my graphite. Get my depths just a little bit deeper. Right. And I know that these kind of veins at the sides of each petal, I want to deepen. And then right here where the petal meets the center of the flower, I know I want to deepen that. There we go. Just doing that circle blend. On each petal. And then remember this, the matte pencil is the one that can be moved with water, right? So it's a water base. So we can wet our brush, tap it off so we just have a damp brush, and then just start to blend that out. Look at that, so pretty. So I hope that you will, oh, why are you mad? Why the mad face? What did I do? Did I do something? Did something else make you angry? Just the addition of that has already added so much depth, and I have Faber Castell aquarelle brushes, so I think I want to, they're a little different than, oh, I'm sorry, Sarah. Then please just tell me, because I'm just painting, and you know what? Every now and again, I don't know. Hey, Melody, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. So just like I said earlier, remember that poppies are the flower for the month of August, and so. Oh, I understand, Sarah. I understand. So let's celebrate with the Lucinda art printable, which was one of my first art printables, which was a poppy. So let's celebrate by creating with the Lucinda art printable this month. And I'm creating with the Vintage Papeterie 1. My new product line of vintage papers. that I print the vintage papers first, and then I come in with the other art printable. So, Emanuela, is that how you say it? Emanuela. I will, so all of the watercolors, the watercolor pencils were in the Faber Castell Try It box that I got, and they are Albrecht Dürer, and this is the watercolor pencil. I don't know if you can read that, but I will type it in the comments after class. How's that? And then I will type in the name of the watercolor palette that I have also. But I wanted to, so I have these watercolor, these are the Art Grip Aquarelle by Faber Castell. So I'm gonna play with these. Do you see? I just love that this just brightens everything so tremendously. And like I said, I'm just taking my watercolor colored pencil, and I'm just dipping it in water. Do you see how that just adds a little something something? Then I'm going over it with a damp brush. So that's just, this is my sweet spot. Just layers and layers and layers of artsy goodness, you know? And then that damp brush will do wonders with blending and just softening the edges from one color transition into another, you know? It will just do the work for you. I'm taking bits of this color that I just put on, and I'm just adding it to the corners of this, just this little folded over edge here. So just note, because you're moving color, you still have that color on your brush, right? So you can wipe it off on your paper towel, or you can find another spot that could use that color. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I'm loving that. So pretty. So pretty. I think I want to do a little more depth there and there. Coming with my damp brush. So look at those two compared to this guy. This guy hasn't had any colored pencil help just yet. Oh, Sue, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you got COVID. Ugh, swear. It's just here, isn't it? It's not gonna go away. Just get your vaccine. Everybody I've known who's gotten the vaccine and gotten it it has been much less than, none of them had to go to the hospital. And they're all still with us. Oh, look at that. Oh, I just love it so much. So, remember on Thursday is art journaling day. So we will be creating in our art journals on Thursday. And lucky me, I get to have another artsy day with more girlfriends. Tammy is visiting from Idaho. So we will be at Lucinda's house, having ourselves a time. Oh, I'm loving it so much. I'm going to deepen the edges of this little folded bit. And then I want to deepen underneath the fold right there. Give me a little bit of depth on the corners there. And then come back. My damp brush and just soften these edges. Soften those edges. I hope that everybody will go out, either sign up for Artsy Alchemy 3 and learn all kinds of things about the vintage puppetry. It's only a $20 class. You will learn. And like I said, you'll get vintage puppetry 1 and 2, and you'll also get the mushroom art printable, and that's fabulous. But also download the Lucinda art printable and do some poppies during the month of August. Make some cards, put it in your art journal, all kinds of things. Take pictures of it though and share it with us, because genius breeds genius, you know. We all want to be inspired by each other. And I will tell you, the Let's Get Artsy with Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs, Anne Corbiere-Scott private Facebook group is the place to get and give encouragement. Everyone is so kind and so encouraging, and just the loveliest. Just the loveliest. You will be happy that you made the move. So, and also please like, comment, and subscribe to Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We are trying to build those and encourage people as much as we possibly can. And spread the good word about art, because, you know, whatevs. I will check, Emanuela, I will check the Anne's Artsy Arsenal to see if I have the link for the Prima watercolors. And my brushes, you asked me about my brushes, and my brushes, I kind of use all kinds of brushes, but my favorite is the Connoisseur. They're a little hard to find, but the Connoisseur, I just really like, but I am not a snob about my brushes. Some people are, some people aren't. I like a synthetic brush that has a good snap. I want it to have a good snap. Some people like it floppy. I like mine with a snap. So, you know, that's a personal thing. But I would say go to Michael's or your local art store and look at, there's always a huge wide variety of brushes. And I so every time I go to the art store, I pick up a couple more. Like, I have my favorite sizes. I like a 2, a 4, and a 6. Those are my favorite sizes, my go-tos. I use them all the time. Some people like larger, some people like smaller. those are my go-tos, a 2, a 4, and a 6 round. And so I look at like what's new on the market in synthetic, because I don't want to spend more than $5 or $6 per brush. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a brush connoisseur, but I'm a connoisseur in a thrifty way. So, like I'm going to Texas in a couple weeks, or in a week, and I will look for an art store to find some new brushes. I'm always on the hunt. I'm going to England in November. Oh, I will absolutely be on the hunt for a new brush, and I'll tell you all about it when I get back. So I think we are at the end of we're at the end of the road. So I will bid you all adieu, and I will see you on Thursday. Tomorrow is Stitch Along, so be sure to join me over there on Stitch the States with Corbiere-Scott Facebook group, and I'm finishing up the state of Wyoming, and I think Utah is next. So join me. I would love to chat. Talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.